If your wife dies of an allergic reaction while dining in a Walt Disney World restaurant, Disney says you can't sue them in a court of law because you subscribed to Disney Plus 5 years ago. I'm not even making this up. All right, so the Los Angeles Times says Disney says a man cannot sue them for wrongful death. He cites Disney Plus parks tickets arbitration clauses. This is one of the most ridiculous, and I'm not a lawyer. I wish Ron could be here. I think he had a big deposition case today. But this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. If I'd had more time, since Ron couldn't make it, I probably should have hit up our buddy Joe Neerman to come in and do this. I might ask him about if he wants to do a video with me later. Walt Disney Company is asking a Florida state court. Now, let's toss this out for a second. A Florida state court. Do we all remember right now the Walt Disney Company has not had the best of luck when it comes to lawsuits involving the state of Florida or lawsuits involving a Florida courtroom, or I should say in a Florida courtroom, or in a federal court in the state of Florida? It just doesn't matter. Let's just say their legal arguments lately have been weak sauce. I think a lot of times is Disney gets desperate and they throw stuff out that they think will stick because they have no other argument. My opinion on this is that Disney probably shouldn't have made this their legal argument. Even if they win, this is going to look so bad for them, so ridiculous. And I can't, again, layman, not an attorney, not legal advice, not a legal expert. I can't see how they could win with this, and I'll explain again from my layperson's perspective, and I wish Ron or Joe could be here to correct me, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure they will, and God bless them for it, but Let's get to the nitty-gritty of what happened here, because this is absolutely insane. They want to toss a wrongful death lawsuit because the plaintiff agreed to terms and conditions mandating arbitration when he signed up for Disney Plus and he bought tickets to Epcot. What? Let's continue. The response comes after plaintiff Jeffrey Piccolo sued the Walt Disney Company in February, alleging that his wife had died from a severe allergic reaction after dining at a restaurant in Walt Disney World, Orlando. During the trip, the Disney Springs shopping complex in October of 23, Piccolo and his wife allegedly asked staff multiple times at the Raglan Road restaurant if the food that his wife had ordered had dairy or nuts, which she was allergic to, according to the lawsuit. The couple was assured that it did not. Okay? So, a couple of things to make clear. This was in Disney Springs, formerly called Downtown Disney. That's the shopping district. So this wasn't in one of the theme parks. But this was on Walt Disney Company property. This is on a restaurant that is in the Walt Disney Company shopping center, okay? But less than an hour after their meal, his wife started having difficulty breathing and collapsed. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. Now, this is a tragic story, so just stop right there. I feel terrible for this man and for his family. I can't imagine what they're going through. Was the restaurant necessarily acting in a deliberately malicious way? No, probably not. There seems to be no evidence of that, obviously. Was this a terrible mistake? Yes, it sounds like it very well could have been. At least that's what it's being alleged. But negligence and mistakes still have legal consequences for those that are found responsible. Disney, however, now this is where it gets real. This is where I look, something tragic like this. Look, This could easily be assuaged. Settle this out of court. Don't fight this. And please don't make such a ridiculous legal assertion as what Disney is about to do, because Disney is about to clown itself here. Disney said that Piccolo agreed to a binding arbitration in, quote, all disputes, including those involving the Walt Disney Company or its affiliates, closed quotes, when he signed up for Disney Plus 4 years before. The company filed that response to the lawsuit in the Florida court back in May, which is what gave rise to some of the story that broke in June, which is when I believe Clownfish picked up on it or shared it, and that's when I caught wind of it. So if you signed up, this is what Disney is saying right now. If you signed up for a Disney Plus account, you signed up for Hulu, if you signed up for ESPN Plus, if you bought a park ticket to go to Epcot or something like that, Disney is claiming that they are completely free and clear from liability, at least insofar as it being tried in an actual court of law. Right. They're saying is it has to go to arbitration. Now, the reason why companies want to use third-party arbitration in a lot of cases, and there are some documents out there, again, as my lawyer friends, if they were here, could tell you, there are certainly legally binding contracts that would stipulate arbitration in the event of a dispute, usually a contractual dispute, dispute over terms of, say, employment, but nothing that would theoretically break the law or, in this case, rise to a level of negligence to where we have a wrongful death situation, or at least the allegation of one. I don't see how this is arbitrated outside of a court. I could be wrong. But for Disney to make the claim that because he signed up for a Disney Plus account, that he has effectively no legal recourse in a court of law is being preposterous. This is ridiculous. This goes to show, quite frankly, well, we're just going to have to beep this one out. This shows the depravity of Disney. I'm sorry, I can't help it. There's no other word to use in this situation. Pardon my French. I try not to drop the F-bombs on my live shows. I know there's other shows that are out there that are more loose, and I go on and I cuss up with the best of them. That's fine. Their audiences, that's normal over there. I try to avoid it here, but this just rises to the level of terrible. And there's no other way for me to say it. This is depraved indifference this is so ridiculous. And what arbitrator would be selected? Probably, I bet you also in the agreement, it's an arbitrator that Disney would select. This is the most obscene thing ever. Let me tell you, well, let's finish reading the story and then I'm going to give you the rest of my thoughts on why this is a ridiculous argument that I think should and will get thrown right the frick out of court, okay? The company said, in addition to signing up for a Disney Plus account back in 2019, he waived his rights there, says Disney. The company, Disney, also said that Mr. and Mrs. Piccolo, the husband of the deceased woman here, said they agreed to those terms and conditions again, when he purchased Disney World tickets on behalf of himself and his wife. Disney said the binding arbitration clause for the tickets applies to anyone he bought tickets for, according to the response. If you go to Disney World, if you buy tickets to Epcot, if you buy tickets to the Magic Kingdom, you buy tickets to a Disney hotel, or go to a Disney hotel. I don't know. You might be agreeing to something if you eat in a restaurant at Disney and you don't even stay there. I have no idea. But apparently you have no legal recourse against the Walt Disney Company for anything that happens on their property, because that's what they say. In a response to Disney's filing, Piccolo's attorneys rebutted the company's arguments, saying that Disney had essentially waived its alleged right to arbitration when it participated in the lawsuit by requesting copies of documents. Now, that's interesting. That may be that's a new wrinkle that wasn't there 6 weeks ago. So they're saying, smart on the part of Piccolo's attorneys. I don't believe that the other side anyway. It seems a little ridiculous because he bought Disney Plus. Remember, that's Disney's first argument. He signed up for Disney Plus. Realistically, would anybody have the expectation when you sign up for a Disney Plus account? What if Disney puts in there that when you sign up for a Disney Plus account that you're going to conscript your oldest child into indentured servitude for 6 months at the Walt Disney World theme park when they turn 18? Would that hold up in court? It's all kind of ridiculous stuff. One has nothing to do with the other, in my opinion. And if there's a law out there that says it's valid, well, we need to change the laws because that's insane. That's absolutely insane. But Piccolo's attorneys rebut Disney's argument, saying that Disney waived its alleged right to arbitration by effectively responding to the lawsuit. That's an interesting legal argument. Okay, Disney, you want to play that game? You've now filed in court regarding this lawsuit, so that's tantamount to participation and your admittance that this is valid. I guess is what they're arguing. Again, not a lawyer. Wish one was here. I feel like Ron is going to be blowing up my phone later. I saw your live show. Got to talk. He can hop in here anytime. He's got to help me out with this. I'm going to ask him later. We'll do a true up on this one. Piccolo's lawyers also said that his wife's estate, which did not exist at the time because she was still alive, which makes sense, was not a signatory to any alleged arbitration agreement, according to the filing, which entered into court record earlier. Okay, that's interesting. So the estate is filing. They're saying, well, the estate didn't agree to anything. And look, if he bought the tickets, then she didn't sign up for anything. She's an adult. What's the argument here? A valid agreement to arbitrate does not exist because the arbitration clauses upon which Walt Disney Parks and Resorts rely are unconscionable. Yes, and as I said, effing depravity here on the part of Disney. Representatives for Disney and Piccolo did not respond immediately to a request for comment. Piccolo is seeking at least $50,000 in damages, not including costs and post-judgment interest. Let me say this. This poor man has lost his wife. And again, Disney didn't do anything intentional, obviously. He's seeking $50,000 in damages. That's it? $50,000 in damages, not including costs, meaning court costs, attorney's fees, I suppose, and post-judgment interest. We're not talking about, he's not suing Disney for tens of millions. I don't know what the state laws are in Florida regarding jury awarding punitive damages, because you can award actual damages in a case like this, and you can also award punitive damages to punish a company for doing something. I'm not saying that would happen or could happen in this case. Again, not an attorney, don't know Florida's laws. This is not a lot. Why would Disney not just give him $100,000? If I'm Disney, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm giving this guy $100,000 to go away. This is really all he wants, which seems way too little. And again, I don't know. I'm not sure the age of these people. Maybe they were retired. Maybe they're elderly. Maybe the economic value of her life, she's not working anymore. They had to come up with a number. Again, I don't know how the laws work in Florida for this. But this is a very small number. This is a number for the Walt Disney Company that they should just pay and make it go away. Now this thing is in the Los Angeles Times. This thing is now everywhere. It's in Reuters. It's in AP. Everybody is republishing the story, crediting back to the LA Times. And now every YouTuber out there that tracks Disney's complete failures and stupidity, like this one and so many others in our circle, are now going to be putting this story on blast. This is going to wind up costing the Walt Disney Company probably a whole lot more than $50,000. This company is dumb. Now, let me tell you why I don't think something like this could stand. Apply the same logic to a Gmail account. Apply the same logic to anything, right? Well, I signed up for a service with this company 4 years ago, and then I had to go to their office to visit their company. And I slipped and fell on a banana peel that one of their employees left on the floor. Nothing intentional happened, right? They didn't mean to do that, but there was negligence and ergo liability on the part of that company. You're telling me that if this ruling were to go in Disney's favor, and suggesting that, well, we go to arbitration, or somebody slipped and fell and broke their neck and died in that company's office, that we can't sue you in court. It has to go to arbitration, and the company that you'd want to sue gets to pick the arbitrator. Doesn't seem real fair. Doesn't seem reasonable to me. I signed up. I signed up for signed up for something with a company, $5 a month, $10 a month, 4 years ago, and I slip and fall at their office, and I can't hold them responsible for medical costs, injuries, damages. Have to go to arbitration. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on this one, but it seems a little ridiculous. And I think Mr. Piccolo's lawyers are correct. The fact that they first, and again, Disney's the one that cited, he signed up for a Disney Plus account. He signed up for a Disney Plus account in 2019. That's what holds us harmless, basically. And we can duke it out with an arbitrator, right? But not in a court of law. Just pay him the money, you idiots. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.